Hi, my name is Lindsey. I'm 29 years old and I live with a bunch of chronic and mental health conditions. I really want to work on myself in a way that's slow and doable for someone with my conditions. I'm working on improving myself in 6 areas. These areas are body, mind, finance, home, fun, and style. My goal was to tidy my office, to clean for 10 minutes every day when I'm home, to clean my master bathroom and master bedroom, and to clean my kitchen. So the only task I didn't do was cleaning every single day that I was home. I ended up really crashing for the last 2 weeks of the month, and I was just in a total flare, completely bedridden, which honestly I slightly anticipated because I'm finally understanding how my chronic condition works. It seriously hindered my ability to get things done, and it was very, very frustrating. I realized that daily habits, I've said this over and over, but daily habits just don't work for me. I think I've been researching it and I'm gonna try setting a goal for every 2 weeks to do something a certain number of times or to have a certain volume of output in a certain time frame instead of doing something every single day. I think every single day is completely unrealistic for someone like me whose energy is up and down and it's just completely unpredictable. That being said, my master bathroom was so disgusting that I didn't even film because I just didn't want to add a layer of shame to something I've been putting off for a long time. And I'm so glad it's finally clean. It just feels so much better in there. And the master bedroom, I cleaned with my boyfriend's help, same with the bathroom, and I'm very glad that he was assisting me and we were a team. And with the master bedroom, it just feels so much nicer. It's been a few days since we cleaned it, and the floor is clear. We did the whole nightstand area. I didn't really record any footage of that either because when I cleaned it, I was coming out of the flare. And it's kind of hard to navigate filming with living life and getting things done. It's an added layer on top of everything. And so I think I need to really learn how to plan and then execute in a way that actually is feasible for me. Even though I got the tasks done, I don't really have footage. I think I need to get my daily and weekly cleaning routines kind of set. I'm not super consistent yet with everything, but I will say since I started this, I've gotten I've made a lot more effort to get it done, and I've gotten a lot more of the project and one-off tasks done. I just need to get consistent with the ones that are cycles, they systematically repeat, dishes and laundry, because those are things that you're supposed to do more regularly, and I don't think I'm doing them regularly enough because on the weekend I end up having to make up for the lack of time that I devoted to them during the week. And I do have a lot of time on my hands, so there's not really much of an excuse. I will say when I'm in a flare, I'm a little bit more understanding of myself, but I was struggling doing the dishes and the laundry even before I entered the flare, so I just need to find a system that works for me. I need to make it easier to do. And honestly, I've noticed that when I put pressure on myself, I tend not to perform very well. But when I'm choosing to do things because I want to do them and when it's more authentic to me, it's a lot easier to get things done. So I need to find a way to make like doing home chores easier and more authentic. I can't just like scare myself into always doing them. That's not working, and that's what I've been trying. So we'll figure it out. For the style section, I wanted to do a closet declutter, and that was like the biggest task for this month because it involved decluttering all of my clothes, all of the clothes I had in storage, and all of my accessories. And then on top of that, I also took photos of all of the clothes and I logged them into the style book app, which I do need to fill out more with like the details of what materials everything is, but I've already been using it. Another one of my goals was to start tracking my clothes once I set up the app. And then my last goal was to actually like track my skincare progress, but I haven't been. So I didn't do the skincare progress, but I did do the entire closet declutter, including clothes, accessory, and clothes in storage. I also, like I said, took photos of everything and logged them in that app. And I also started using the app. And honestly, it's been really nice to have the app set up. The only thing is, like, I've been starting to track a lot of like my life via apps and like habit trackers, and it kind of detracts from feeling like I'm living my life. There's like a layer of surveillance that feels oddly, it's just uncomfortable. Like, it feels like I'm judging myself a lot if I use the surveillance in a way to like force myself to change. I do want to track things because I do want to see how I change and like what I'm actually getting done, but I don't want it to be like with a layer of judgment or anger towards myself. I want to just be accepting of where I'm at, kind of like an experiment where it's just data. There's no failure or shame. It's literally just like more of a clinical understanding. And so I'm trying to work on that mindset. But like I said, tracking so many different things is also a layer of like extra work to the tasks that I hadn't predicted when I first set out to do this. I don't really know what to do about this. It's actually really detracted from my enjoyment of making this series. Overall, with the style section, it was more of like a foundational task this month where I was laying the brickwork for myself to make it easier to actually know what I'm wearing, what's getting used in my closet, making space. And I'm not just gonna go buy a bunch of clothes now. I don't really have the funds for that, nor do I necessarily want to. It was just helpful to see what I have, what I'm actually wearing, only have things that actually fit me that I love in my closet. That way, whenever I go to get changed, honestly, a lot of the clothes that were hanging in there I loved, but they didn't fit me properly. So I'm really feeling already the benefits, even mentally. I'm so glad that I did this. My goals for the fun section were to watch one of my DVDs, latch hook for the baby, and bonus points if I get halfway. I wanted to finish the drama I was watching called Gank Your Heart, and I wanted to show up for my friends and family. And I'm so proud to report that I actually did all of the items on the fun section. For the mind section, I wanted to meditate. I wanted to make a fear ladder. I also wanted to participate in Therapy in a Nutshell's membership and do as many of the courses as I could in 1 month just to learn about mental health a little bit more and gain extra insight. I wanted to research anxiety. I also wanted to read 2 books on anxiety that I found. And I wanted to use the Finch app again. So this month I did all but one of those goals. I did meditate, and I actually really just love meditation. It's like the best thing that came out of this whole series. I did make a fear ladder where I ranked all my fears, and I was planning on making like an exposure hierarchy for each of them, but I realized that a lot of my fears don't like translate well into an exposure hierarchy where I would do exposure therapy. I think for a lot of my fears, it's just about getting out of my comfort zone and living life. And I think what I'm gonna do instead is make a list of things that I've always wanted to do, but I've been too scared to, and just start like slowly going through it when I have time, when I'm not in a flare, and just doing like one by one. And, allowing myself to feel whatever I feel. But yeah, my anxiety is like really, really bad, and it always kind of has been since I was a teen. And so I really, really want to work on this. I'm in therapy and I have a psychiatrist, so it's not like I'm not working on it. I just wanted to do more personal work on this. And I think what I realized is I might not be equipped to handle this all by myself, so I'm definitely going to talk to my therapist about it. I also did get the Therapy in a Nutshell membership for this month, and I did go through 6 of the courses, and it was so informative and helpful, and it honestly enriched my therapy sessions because I had like little notes of things that I wanted to talk to her about, and I'm really glad that I did it. I canceled the membership moving forward, but I'm thinking about maybe doing it again once I start actually applying what I've learned in the courses. I want to actually execute some of the ideas I've learned and apply them and see what sticks and where I have questions. And from there, I'm going to grow and move forward. I did not research anxiety, but I did read 2 books on anxiety, so I'm really proud of myself for actually finishing both books. I wouldn't recommend the books. So I'm not going to say what they were because I don't want to just trash someone's writing on YouTube, but I had expected the books to be more systematic and detailed. It's just the writing wasn't what I expected, and the information and advice wasn't as applicable or helpful as I had anticipated it would be. So, it was kind of a dud, but I'm glad that I read them. And then I also wanted to start using my Finch app again, like rework my goals to actually be what I'm working on. And I've been using the Finch app again for over 30 days now, so all of this month, and I'm so proud of myself for that. For the body section, I wanted to track my food daily. I wanted to use the Bearable app to track my chronic illness symptoms. I wanted to weigh in weekly, at least. And I wanted to brush my teeth 4 or 5 times a week. I also wanted to walk and move my body more. So I did track my food every day. I lost some weight this month. I'm gonna make a separate video on my weight journey because I am on Manjaro, but that's because I am on a weight loss journey and I have been on one for about 4 years now. I've lost almost 100 pounds, so I was very overweight before and like morbidly obese. My numbers were all terrible, and this medication has, it's brought back my period, which I have PCOS, and I am grateful that I have this medication, and I know that with the results that I've been having of weight loss, some people may view it as like unrealistic, so I just wanted to give this disclaimer. I actually wanted to give it a couple videos ago, but I didn't really know how to word it. But I know it might not be for everyone. This is just what works for me, and I don't want people to see my numbers and, think that like I have doctors and people working with me on this, and I'm very close to reaching my goal weight. So the weight has never been the biggest issue of these videos. Like, my bigger goals are all the other stuff. Like, I want to be clear about that. Like, there's a lot of things I'm working on, and the weight is just one of them. And I mean, 100 pounds ago, it would have been one of the bigger things because I couldn't even tie my shoes. But now that I've lost a lot of the weight, it's more about just finishing what I started and being able to maintain it. I also did use the Bearable app every day since I got it. I will say that tracking every single aspect of my life on the Bearable app is kind of unbearable. Like, it's really nice because it gives like data and tells you like some correlations. They're not all totally accurate because sometimes there are like confounding factors, like third variables or whatever. It's really helpful to see, and I know that long term it might help notice some patterns with like what exacerbates or what improves my condition. So I'm gonna keep using it. It's just like I said, tracking so many different variables is quite overwhelming for me, and I need to find a way to make it like more clinical. And I'm gonna have to research and like not research, but I'm just gonna have to modify and remind myself that like my numbers are just my numbers. I am like a good human regardless of like what the data shows. Like, the data is just meant to help me and like to guide me. It's not meant to decide my worth as a human being. To define your worth based on like data isn't really something I vibe with. I did not brush my teeth 4 or 5 times a week every week. I did it for most of the weeks, and so I'm kind of disappointed, but when I was in a flare, I fell off and I was only brushing like 3 times a week. 3 and 4 are like 1 away. So I really wanted to check it off, but because 3 is not 4, I didn't. So, I mean, I'm still making a lot more progress. Before, I wasn't brushing my teeth at all. It was like a sensory thing for me, and it was really uncomfortable. But now that I'm figuring it out, I'm getting a lot more consistent. It's just showing up on days where my energy is really low and my pain is really high. That's gonna be the trick, because like some things can fall off when I'm in a flare, but like brushing my teeth, I don't really want to be one of those things. I would like to be able to still do that, even if I like modify the task to be more like something I can do in bed or something, or like something I do when I go to the bathroom. Like, I'll find a way. And I did walk and move my body more. I actually was on like a walk with my boyfriend, and we found this like giant mound of dirt, and this was definitely before I was in the flare, and I ran up and down it, and it was very fun. It was kind of silly and goofy, but I really enjoyed it. For the finance section, my goal was to save between $25 and $50, to spend at or under $100 on Amazon, to use cash envelopes, and to track my spending. And I'll be honest, I don't really like talking about finances on YouTube or just on the internet in general where everyone can see. It makes me kind of uncomfortable, and I realized although I want to work on this category, it's one that I should probably just work on in private because I just don't really like talking about it. So I will say I met 3 of the 4 goals. I tracked my spending. I switched to cash envelopes halfway through the month, which actually really helped me reduce my spending and impulse purchases. I did save between $25 and $50 in my little things bucket. The one thing I did not do fully was stay under Amazon budget of $100. I actually spent very close to that $100 budget, but it was over slightly. And so it just doesn't count, right? Because if you set a hard limit, that's the limit. Even still, I think that this section is one where I'll just continually work on it. And if I make a future one of these episodes, I will not be including the finance section in it. Overall, just like with the other 2 videos, I am happy with the progress. It's just after being in a flare for 2 weeks from pushing myself a little too far, too fast, I realized that I need to do a lot more planning, create an actual system that sets me up for success, because I went into making this series without much of a plan. I had only mapped out the first episode, and my initial idea was to film and make 3 episodes as a backlog before I started posting. I wish I had done something like that, because after making each episode on the fly, I realized that it requires a lot more of intentional and systematic thinking that I lack right now. Though I made a lot of progress this month, I still feel like something isn't sustainable about the way I'm doing things, and I think I'm gonna pull back and ease up a bit before I make any more YouTube videos. I hesitate to post a video just to say that I'm not gonna post for a little while, but for anybody who was actually watching or curious about what I've been learning throughout this process, I do think it's important to be honest and to say, on the one hand, I am glad that I've been really focusing on these areas and getting things done in each of these areas more consistently. But on the other hand, I think I picked too many areas at once to work on. And I think my goals were a bit too lofty for where I'm actually at. I think I need to actually properly establish a baseline and then map out all of my goals, categorize them based on difficulty, but also like group similar goals together, and then pick maybe 3 goals at a time to work on, because honestly, it's very challenging doing something like this. I know it doesn't seem that way, but if you try to work on 6 areas at once, and for each areas there's like between 3 and 6 tasks, that's a lot. It stacks up. And I want to actually dedicate myself properly so that I have a chance of making a difference without burning out. And I think the way I went about it was all wrong. Also, where I live, we've been having more rain this month because we were in a drought. And my migraine has just been terrible, which I didn't foresee as a factor. So I don't just want to complain. I am glad that I tried this series, and I am glad that I started a YouTube channel finally after being like daydreaming about doing it, but being like a bit insecure. It has been really fun, and I've really enjoyed myself. If you have any tips for me about how to create systems to make lasting change, please comment them. But if not, just let me know whether you're on a journey and how that's been going for you. I'm really curious to hear. And thank you so much for watching this video. Seriously, it means the world to me. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed it. Like I said, there may not be content for a little while, but I really do plan on coming back and making an actual plan prior to. So before I come back, I'll have a couple of videos mapped out. And if I have an additional video coming up prior to that, it'll be the reflection on the series. It might take some time to put out because, like I said, I need to actually analyze everything. Thank you so much for your time. Bye!